I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
I'm Mitt Romney, and I approve this message.
Even after the election, those words still make us cringe. After an election that split the country in half, we see just how effective the campaign was. The heaviest campaigning didn't come from candidates giving stump speeches. No, it came from advertising. In Iowa, one of 10 swing states, television and radio ads were played to the point of exhaustion. And according to Drake University politics professor Rachel Paine Caufield, we might just have to blame our location.
Campaign ads are far more prevalent in swing states. And at the presidential level, campaigns are really focusing in on the 6 to 8 states where they believe they have a chance of winning. Iowa recently has been in that bunch for the past several cycles, so we're accustomed to seeing them now.
Our televisions have been bombarded with ads. According to Drake politics professor Art Sanders, there was a real reason for them.
Television advertising is the best way to reach people, particularly the kind of people you're trying to reach in a campaign. Those people are not the people who pay a lot of attention to politics. The people who pay a lot of attention to politics are not the target of most of the advertising that you see.
Sanders then goes on to explain more on why we feel so inundated.
We have a very distorted perception here in Iowa because we live in one of the 10 states where they're doing this.
So while we're hearing ads like this,
when the auto industry faced collapse, Mitt Romney turned his back.
And this,
do you support work for welfare? Barack Obama has a long history of opposing work for welfare.
Other states are only hearing about local elections. And in this election cycle where over $1.6 billion were spent on campaign ads alone, Professor Caufield points out how independent groups added to the frequency of the ads this election cycle.
Part of this, and we're a swing state, so we're getting a lot of attention there, but it's not just from campaigns. The Citizens United decision has made it really easy for third-party groups to spend money in direct advocacy efforts. Most of the time that means advertising. So when you see that little disclosure statement at the bottom of the screen that tells you who's funding it, what's interesting is to kind of, spend a day just tallying up how many of them are actually party ads versus candidate ads versus third-party groups.
Like Professor Caufield says, it's a part of Citizens United. In a decision made by the Supreme Court in 2010, the court changed the way money could be spent in an election. Drake professor and political author Denis Goldford says we have Citizens United to blame for the negativity coming out of our computers, televisions, and radios.
There's been an estimate that something like 82% of all the TV ads run have been negative. A lot of that's been because of the Citizens United decision that allows all these independent groups to raise and then spend unlimited amounts of money. And they can't be coordinated with a campaign. So if you support Romney or Obama, you can't coordinate with those campaigns, but you can spend a lot of money tearing down whichever one is on the other side from you.
There is so much negativity all at once. And as Professor Goldford says, there is at least one positive to come out of it.
I've increasingly said that campaign ads are why God created mute buttons on remote controls.
The election is over and people are ready to move on with their lives. Professor Caufield sympathizes with the nation, especially those in swing states.
I think overall people are tired. They're tired of both negative and positive ads. They're tired of the campaign, particularly in swing states where we've been inundated with this. I think there's some eye-rolling that occurs anytime people hear a political ad now.
While the 2012 election cycle is complete, there's bound to be another election full of negative ads and even more money spent in 4 years. I'm Katherine Fritcke, and I approve this message.